Hello, thank you for joining me today on Baha'i 101. I'm Ian, and in this video, we're going to talk about the Baha'i view of science and religion, and why the Baha'i faith teaches that they have to be in harmony for humanity to flourish. Let's get into it. Over the past couple hundred years, the idea that religion and science are incompatible ways of understanding the world has become more and more prevalent. Scientists at some points were persecuted and killed by clergymen and governments working on their behalf. And many people of faith, because of strict literal interpretations of religion, have viewed science as antithetical to their understanding of religion and the world. Many scientists have, at minimum, become dismissive of the positive power of religion, and in some cases, actively hostile, believing religion to be a mistake in human evolution, bringing people away from the truth. The Baha'i faith teaches that there is no inherent conflict between science and religion, and views them as the two wings upon which man's intelligence can soar into the heights, with which the human soul can progress. It's not possible to fly with one wing alone. Should a man try to fly with the wing of religion alone, he would quickly fall into the quagmire of superstition. On the other hand, with the wing of science alone, he would also make no progress, but fall into the despairing slough of materialism. Science and the capacity for human beings to systematically and effectively learn or generate knowledge about the physical world has always been a boon to human civilization. But in just the past 300 years, it has completely revolutionized human society. We've gone from hoping that our seeds would take root and grow in our little gardens, often in disappointment, to agricultural abundance. From climbing into wooden boats to climbing into rockets and landing on the moon. The Baha'i writings tell us that the human ability to reason and engage in scientific inquiry is divine. That science is the first gift God has given man. That the virtues of humanity are many, but science is the most noble of them all. The power of investigating and discovering the truth of the universe is the way man finds a path to God. Baha'is view the powers and attributes of human beings as the outcomes of natural processes of evolution, except the intellect, which it views as supernatural. It's what distinguishes humans from animals. Through inquiry, science can help us understand our present and uncover aspects of the past that still affect us. The Baha'i view is that religion is inseparable from human history and has been an incredibly important factor in the evolution of human civilization. Many of the world's great achievements have been moral and thus spiritual. 85% of the world views itself as religious. That's several billion people living currently, not to mention throughout history, who have learned to love and give generously, to forgive and to sacrifice for the good of their families and communities because of the influence of religious teachings and the examples of its key figures and believers. One of the most important things the Baha'i writings do is reconceptualize the concept of religion. Religion is inherently spiritual, even though it contains explicit laws and guidance for how to live our lives and build our societies, which, do touch on our physical and material lives. Religion is dealing with the spiritual and moral aspects of our individual and social realities, and has worked for the entirety of its history through analogy and allegory. Things that were never meant to be interpreted as literal became our explanations of scientific reality. Strict literal interpretation of religion has been a significant impediment in our attempts to understand physical reality and to advance science. And they're now really getting in the way of understanding the true role religion is supposed to play in our lives and world. The Baha'i writings tell us that opposition to knowledge is ignorance, And when religious people or anyone else does this, we are denying our true station as human beings, and we're acting like animals. True knowledge is guidance, and ignorance is error. So for people to oppose science in the name of religion is antithetical to true religion. Science and technology are rapidly advancing our material civilization, which is a significant cause of progress in the world. But until it's combined with spirituality, the desired result, which is the happiness of humanity, won't be realized. There's a quote I love. It says, "Material civilization is like the body. No matter how infinitely graceful, elegant, and beautiful it may be, it is dead. Divine civilization is like the spirit, and the body gets its life from the spirit." Science and religion both contain principles and concepts which are fundamental to human progress, whether for an individual, community, or at the level of society. When we have a balanced view of science and religion and pursue them with the rigor they both need, we tend not to view human progress as the mechanical processes of capitalism or the development of shiny new technologies. True progress has to include consideration of how our actions and institutions and processes contribute to the betterment of the lives of all of humanity. Scientific knowledge can help the members of a community solve a problem or discover a better way to do something. And spiritual knowledge helps us to analyze that new development through a moral framework that allows us to maintain our community's functioning and unity, like splitting the atom. We can use that technology to energize our cities and nations and lives, or we can use it to decimate each other. So many things start out as well-intentioned good ideas, and they end up, because of the nature of our society, backfiring in ways that make our lives worse and worse. See, there's a second part of that quote that I just mentioned a little earlier. This body of humanity's material civilization calls aloud, yearns more desperately with each passing day for its soul. As with every great civilization in history, until it is so animated and its spiritual faculties awakened, it will never find peace, nor justice, nor a unity that rises above the level of negotiation and compromise. Together, these two sources of knowledge, science and religion, are vital to the advancement of humanity and to our current civilization finding its soul.